everyone I know, everyone I'm dealing with, especially in finance and money and banking, my accountant even, saying that, something's going to happen around September. Regardless of this, banking institution, the Fed is reducing its balance sheet, which means they're selling off, they're getting rid of the bonds that they bought up during the recession to prop up the economy. They're still raising interest rates, even though consumer spending is dipping. Stock market is rallying, but most people who know would say that's on, institutional trading that's propping up the stock market. Bottom line, if you got an IRA, retirement account, whatever, get rid of it. Look, check this out. As an individual, you can exclude from your taxable income up to $14,000. I think it's $24,000 for a married couple as a gift, right? So cash out $14,000 or more. If you're an individual, your retirement account or whatever, 401k, I don't care what it is, cash it out. Cash it out. Right? No more than 20%. And purchase, actually, my bad, let me back up. And gift that money, preferably to a trust, contract trust, private. Gift it preferably to a trust, and have that trust purchase some gold and silver privately. Hit me up, admin at welcometothefoundation.com. Now that's there you go. Gifted $14,000, 24 if you're married, if you're legally married. So it's excluded from your taxable income. So it's going to reduce your taxable income if you have a trust or you deal with me. You hit me up, you get your trust set up, gift it to the trust, it's excluded, you still have control of it. Purchase gold and silver privately, hit me up, admin at welcometothefoundation.com. You still control it, you diversified your holding, you got some gold and silver. You reduce your tax liability by the amount of that allowable gift. And you're in good shape. I'd say you're in good shape. But enough about me. Let's talk about you. Personal credit. This is the personal credit boot camp, you know what I'm saying? So this is going to be a primer. We're not going to get too deep into this. I got my brother Toran L, about to bring him in a second. Upland Credit. My man got a company. He's really cold with personal credit on his own, but he got a company with a former FICO employee. And why is credit important? Let me get into why credit is important before, we jump into this. As far as I look at it, personal credit, if you're familiar with India, they got a caste system. A caste system is whatever your mother and father did, that's what you do. They have untouchables, undesirables, usually the darker skinned population, poor. And if you're born poor, 99% of the time you're gonna die poor. If you're born rich, 99% of the time you're gonna die rich. They have a certain caste system. I can't tell you the certain levels of the caste system because I don't really study it, but it does exist. You can do your own investigation of the caste system at CASTE, and really, it's to maintain a status quo. Because not everybody can get all of the resources that are finite. Finite resources are created by man, whether it be credit or monetary instruments or whatever. Finite, infinite things are created by nature. Plant a tree, you can get apples off that until you die, your son dies, your daughter dies, their children die, trees still making apples. That's infinite. Man created stuff is finite, so we're dealing with credit, right? So in America, they say the land of the free, home of the brave, right? Then they switch it and say United States, and they kind of confuse us. Most of us confused, but I don't want to get into that. What I do want to get into is when you're dealing with credit, specifically personal credit, in my opinion, I'm not a tax attorney, not a lawyer, not an attorney, not a CPA, none of that, enrolled agent with the IRS, none of that. But so in my opinion, personal opinion, The credit system and how it's set up and how it's administered in America is the hidden caste system. I don't know if you're familiar back in desegregation time, when they were giving out loans to people of so-called color, it was something known as red line. So red line in certain districts, and they didn't want people of color moving in there. So what would happen is HUD, in conjunction with some other legislation, y'all research this too. They would only offer certain credit scores to certain individuals. So therefore, with those credit scores, they can only qualify for certain amounts of loan per individuals, and all the individuals, those qualifications can only get them properties in certain areas. That's how they were able to discriminate with regards to who lives where, and they were discriminating on basis of color. And you would go into the bank and they would write down, your color, race, so-called race, and then that would go through underwriting, and they would come back with a certain amount that would price you out of certain neighborhoods. And today, with regards to information, with regards to credit restoration, credit enhancement, and even credit funding, information is kept on tight lock to further implement this hidden caste system that is put into play and maintained by these different credit reporting agencies. What you do want to say is these agencies are under federal law, federal mandate, and there are certain remedies and rights as a consumer that can be had with regards to credit reporting agencies. So what is a credit? Let's just be real simple. Credit profile is a profile that is attached to a name, a birth date, a number, history of addresses, and sometimes phone numbers, but usually that first number is a social security number. And that profile is maintained with regards to reporting of on-time payments, of net accounts, revolving accounts, and credit limits that have been extended to this profile with this subsequent credit number. That's in layman's terms, you know what I'm saying? And there's subsequent three main, I'm going to let my brother Toran L get into it, who the main the companies are that report the credit on the personal side. There's three main companies that report credit. They're private, companies. They're not a part of the government. And they report credit history and credit worthiness on individuals. And depending on these profiles will mainly dictate your availability to credit loans. But more specifically, and I think most importantly, it dictates the interest rates, how much you're going to pay to get access to this money. An interest rate is really a tax on a loan, and we're going to get into that this evening here on the Foundation Personal Credit Boot Camp with Brother Toran L. So with that being said, I'm going to bring in the Brother Toran L. Brother Toran, this is him right here. Brother Toran, peace.
Yo, peace. My live?
Peace. Yes, sir. How you doing, brother? Loud and clear.
I'm grand, man. I appreciate such a strong introduction.
Yeah, no problem, man. You know how it is on the Foundation. We just trying to get down at the Foundation, so we good. So, I want to introduce you. This is, Brother Toran L. as well, and why don't you tell the people, maybe your basic introduction, rundown on personal credit, and then, tie that in with what you do. And some of the things that you do, maybe some things and how you help the people and how you can help with your service. So with that being said, man, the floor is yours, bro.
I appreciate it. Big up to the whole network too, man. Foundation, all that, high frequency radio network. When it comes to personal credit, making sure that everything on it is valid, and jumping straight into it, that is the cornerstone of what you will have access to and how much you will pay to have access to it. Whether it be revolving lines, whether it be installments, you want to have a combination of both. There's certain things that you want to have on your credit profile to, quote unquote, give you a sexy profile. Like, this is what underwriters want to see when it's time to go for funding. So if you have any kind of derogatory items, erroneous items on your profile, it's pertinent to get those removed. And you have some companies, what we do is eliminate, go straight into dispute. It's either helping you or it's hindering you. And, if it's hindering you, we want to get it off of there. We only want things on there that are going to help you. You want to, that's the restoration process, removing anything, unverified accounts. And a lot of times they'll come back and say, oh, this account has been verified and this, that, and the third. It hasn't been verified. You need certain information. You need to force them, use these laws to your advantage and force them, require them to substantiate and verify the validity of everything presented to them. And that's on that profile. So let's say you have to use certain terms, allegedly, without proof. What is it? You don't want to use it. You don't want to con the system, but it's a system of bondage. You want to restore your whole credit profile, get anything derogatory off of there, then enhance it. Get trade lines to keep your debt utilization low. The lower it is, the better. It's like, oh, okay, well, this person trusts me with, a $10,000 revolving line of credit. So once you go through that process, it makes it a lot easier to go for funding and get access to credit cards and lines of credit and, at a better rate without having to go through hell to get it, so to say. You get extended lines all the way up to, we do anywhere from $20,000 to $200,000 in revolving lines of credit. So as long as you handle your profile correctly, you don't go and be reckless with it, and you stay in that 30% range. You want to stay below 30%. As long as you do that, you be golden. You have money coming in that you want to use, that you want to offset it with. You put it in commerce. That's what we teach people. Some people compartmentalize it, say, okay, we're just going to do restoration, or we want to just come and get a trade line, but if anything is on there that is hindering you, it's kind of like it's counterintuitive. You don't want to do that. So we walk people through an entire process from restoration, and some people don't need it. If you got a 680 or better, you can go for funding right now. But the better the profile, the more money. On average, we say between 20 and 200,000 as far as in unsecured credit cards, and we have methods of putting that into action and putting that into motion. And it's, to me, it's so, learning both is so important. You got to know the private as well. You want to move that from your public, your straw man, to the private, and make that work for you versus you working for it, because it's already yours. But I don't want to get too far into that, on air. But, send an email, admin@welcometothefoundation.com. These services are not expensive. We got people out here charging $1,300, $1,500. I hear all kind of numbers, and they're not gonna. Monthly fee. This is monthly. Your first month will be $179. Every month after that is $99. It should only take you, on average, 4 months, maybe 6 if you have a less than okay profile. If it's very bad, you may need 6 months. But other than that, personal testimony. I did it myself. I'm not gonna advocate for something that I haven't tried myself. Student loans get out of hand, and this, that, and the third. Hello, can you hear me?
So, yeah, I'm sorry, man. So in the first step, like say I sign up, my credit score is like 420, 545, something real low. And I got I got some stuff that went into collections because the alleged bill allegedly wasn't paid. So I might have some collections on there. Maybe two. I got 2 things in collections. and then that's on the report, and it's been on there for 2 years, and I can't get it off. And then let's say I got, some student loans, and then let's say I got maybe a credit card that I got, or maybe maybe like a Nordstrom card, or a department store card, and that bill allegedly wasn't paid as well. So when I sign up, I go straight into restoration.
Yes, exactly. As soon as what you're going to do, you got to have a credit report. You cannot use, I get so many questions, and, I got Credit Karma. Credit Karma is off by 20 to sometimes 60 points. That's why it's free. Our partners and, the lenders, I'm not facilitating this capital myself. They want specific types of credit profiles. They want to see detailed credit profiles, and you need to have, as a consumer, seeing what they see. You're not, if you can get a copy of your current credit report, you see what the bank sees. We can get into that in the private, but the best source, check free score. We actually have a link on the home page, foundation.uplandcredit.com, and you will see, you pull that report, and that will cost you, it's free for 7 days, and then it'll cost you $30 a month. But you need that throughout the entire process to monitor and see what's going on. We'll be sending you updates as well, but you want to have firsthand that, for us to operate on your behalf and interact with the credit bureaus on your behalf and dispute and, send rounds and rounds and rounds of affidavits and correspond with them. We need to have that credit report. So with that and everything being disputed, it takes 30 to 45 days to report. So, you can't expect overnight results, but at the same time, everyone sees some type of it, seeing up to 60 points within 30 days, 100 points within 30 days. It just depends on the profile because each one is unique, and there are certain factors that determine your FICO and determine your, like debt utilization. You said if you had a card that you didn't pay, you want to get that off. That's derogatory. That's late payment. That's collection. And there are methods. If after a certain amount of rounds is not being removed, there are further actions to be taken to force them to substantiate that. And they don't want to take. They got too many other people to harass that are scared of them to really actually want to go to court with you. But there are ways to, make them put their money where their mouth is, because they're, like you said, they are not a part of the government. They are under federal law. They have to abide by. So, yes, to answer your question, you would definitely start with restoration.
Cool. So I go through restoration. So really what's going to happen is there's going to be a dispute with the credit bureaus themselves on my behalf. And then after a certain amount of time, really, it's, they're going to, capitulate or really, update the credit report in my favor. And then I go on to credit enhancement. And then credit enhancement is really, it's just adding like lines of credit and trade lines, really, right?
Correct.
To my profile, to make it look like I have available credit or credit worthiness beyond what I have access to, right? Correct.
And that process it can be done in a matter of 20 minutes. It's very simple. You get a $5,000 line of revolving credit. So that tells the bureau, it's reporting saying, hey, someone trusts this individual with $5,000 every single month. They can run this tab up, and we're not worried about them paying it. And in that, monkey see, monkey do, it makes the rest of them say, oh, okay, maybe we can trust him too, he or she, him or her. We can let's see if we can do the same. And then your limit starts going up because your debt utilization is being lowered because it's basically raising a ceiling. So if you only have, let's say, access to $20,000, and let's use 10 for number's sake. You don't want to go over 3,000. Keep it below 30%. But that trade line will add you to 15, so it can be raised, and it'll increase your FICO because of that, because you're using less of what you have available.
All right, so back up just for the people. So when you say $10,000, you mean, like, so if I have a credit card that's $4,000, and then I have another credit card that's $2,000, and then I have like maybe a loan that's $4,000 or a line of credit that's $4,000. You're talking about all those available credit limits together is $10,000, right? And with all of those available accounts that equal $10,000, with all those accounts together, I don't want to utilize more than $3,000 across all of them, correct? Is that what you mean?
Something like that. The easiest way to do it, I was speaking as if you had one card with a $10,000 limit. You know, you want to keep below 30% on all cards, and you won't go over 30, collectively. So if you got a $100 card, let's just say this is a $100 card, you don't want to go over 30 on that card. Stop at 29. Really stop at 25, but don't go over 30 on that card. So if you have a $500 card, you don't want to go over 150. Yeah. So with that $5,000 line, that the purpose of that revolving line of credit, and that's just $99 a year. You spend $99 for the membership, and then you buy $100 worth of merchandise. It's jewelry, it's nice, but who cares? I snatched a G-Shock, and I wear it from time to time. But I did it for. They say, oh, you only need it for 1 year, and I'm keeping mine. Who wouldn't pay $100 a year to have $5,000 extra dollars reporting every single month on their credit report? So you finance half of that. So you're gonna pay that $99, and then you have a $99 minimum item. The G-Shock was around $130, so I ended up paying like $65 up front for that plus the $99. So $165, and I had $5,000 reporting in my next cycle. The following month, all I had to do was, finish paying off that $65. And you can make it in payments of $35 or however you want to do it, but I just wanted to go ahead and get it all and have that reporting just to activate it, and they have something to report to me. I mean, we have other options for trade lines, but that's by far the best one and most seamless one. You get the most bang for your buck.
Okay, so now I went through the restoration, so I got the bad stuff off my credit report. And then now I went through the enhancement, so I got, 5,000 added. I got, maybe 6,000 added over here. So now, my credit score has gone up. Now, you're telling me that I can get loans, line of credit loans, and credit cards with very high limits.
Exactly.
I don't have to give them my bank accounts. I don't have to give them my job. Matter of fact, you're telling me I don't even have to have a job?
Nope.
And when I go through funding, I'm going to get loans and credit limits and credit cards with high balances or high amounts, available balances, without even having a job.
Correct.
Just 100%. I don't got to put nothing down. I don't have to offer no collateral. I ain't got to give up my house.
Nope.
Just off the credit score. They see the credit score. Y'all open the account, whatever y'all do with y'all partners. And now I got a credit card with this bank for $25,000.
Correct. I mean, there's some even
credit
higher. It depends. Each one is different. Like anywhere between 20. The lowest you'll get is 20,000. The maximum of one profile would be 200,000, but on average it's 80,000. Across the board around 80. Some 65, some 80. But yes, you can even leverage Equifax specific, or you don't. If let's say your Equifax is for some reason, and this happened to me, you have some scores that may be stuck in the mid sixes on your Experian and your TransUnion, but your Equifax is showing 762, 780. Then you can use that by itself and alone, bring in a $50,000 credit card, from actual banks and institutions, Navy, Federal, Inc., Chase. There's so many of them, but this is what they do. You're pairing this profile with an underwriter. You need no down payment, no income, no employment verification, none of that. It's purely based off your credit. So the only expenses that you have are restoring the credit to get to that point and enhancing your credit. Now, on the back end, there is a finder's fee. There's a 12% fee. after everything goes through, but you don't pay that until everything is received, you know.
So, like, let's say I got a loan for $25,000 cash. So I got the check, I deposited it. So now, once I deposit, 12% of that $25,000, I gotta goes back to Upland Credit for the finder's fee.
Correct.
But that's money I wouldn't otherwise have, so I guess that's cool.
Exactly. You know.
Now, it's really important to say this. I would have to, if I had a credit card and I charged someone on the credit card, I would have to be able to pay for that. If I got a loan and I took money from the loan, I got to pay that back monthly, right? So maybe $25,000 monthly payment will probably be around $500, $600 a month. Otherwise,
correct. If it's fixed,
I'm gonna be right. I'm gonna be right back into the same. I'm gonna be right back in the same boat that I started off with a bad credit score because I messed it up.
Correct.
So this will ultimately be used like maybe to fund a business or to fund an enterprise or something like that.
And we have, we teach how to, through consultations, we teach you how to move that money off of your personal and put it into commerce. You got to have an investment vehicle. This isn't something just to do. It's good to do. Restore your credit, get a trade line, get a few different ones. There's certain things you want to have on it. Even a car lease or a car payment or, paid off or in good standing, very good standing, low debt utilization, just so you can get better interest rates on things that you already are paying for and get readjustments on life insurance policies, on anything. It's a lot of things that having good credit. Basically, having bad credit is it's like a new felony because you get denied for things. Even employment would have bad credit. So with good credit, you have access to this capital, and you can move that capital into your startup. Liquidating these credit cards, moving them into commerce, and putting that's working capital that you have to go make investments and service that loan. And then eventually, you don't need it, anymore. It's basically a front, but you got to pay it back. And the better your credit, the lower your rates.
Got it.
And you don't have. You can go for more than one round of funding.
So so get the funding, make a couple of payments on the credit card, make a couple of payments on the loan, and then go for funding again.
Yeah, as long as you service it correctly. Normally you want to wait 60 to 90 days. You can do it every 60 days, but you want to wait 60 to 90. This is a good window, good threshold of servicing. Having that line, those lines that you have on there, seasoned. They see that you're making payments on time, that you're not going over your debt utilization. They deem you worthy of more money. So, you go back and get double or triple, maybe, sometimes even triple what you got the first time. It all depends on what you do with it and how they see you performing. It's kind of like a grade, like, how responsible is this person? How are we making this much interest off them, or do we want to give them more because they're being responsible with it? It's like keeping track. They put you in bondage, so if you got a bad score, they don't want you to have access to capital to do anything else with. Because a lot of times they won't give you a loan, but they'll give your business a loan. So you use this to put it into the business because you have the proper documentation. You meet the criteria to go and get access to this capital and put it into. It's not the traditional way. It's called creative funding, credit-based funding, but it's worked wonders for me and everyone else who I've had, come through this process.
So if I got a business, I could just buy stuff from my business with the funding, and then use that to show transaction history at the bank account, and then now the business can go and start building its credit.
Correct.
On
That's
top
exactly
of
what you want to do. That's the ideal situation to be in.
Okay. Yeah, I like it.
Even going into the private, with it, as far as with trust, and because grasping both is extremely important, especially for people who are, trying to go from public to private. It's certain benefits of using that social and claiming what is rightfully yours already that you shouldn't be giving your time and energy and all that to receive, but I'm not going to go into all that. You're using that social, that account, that fictitious corporation name in all capital letters to go and claim what's yours already. They're just telling you, okay, well, we'll give it to you at this cost so we make some money too. And you want to facilitate commerce with that, so you can liquidate the card, put it just pull it all, put it into the business and start making payments. If you have, we'll consult on that. Teaching people how to do it in such a manner that it doesn't depreciate or deplete your lines, and you can continue making payments, and it looked like nothing happened. It's like, okay, well, now I have access to this money, and this money is making me money, and I'm also boosting my personal credit and my business credit at the same time, and facilitating, drips into my private, foundation or my trust, or, everything is helping each other grow. It's like it's lifting at the same time. You're watering your garden, your financial garden.
Yeah, just, using it to facilitate the next thing and keep it in line. And I hear what you're saying. I like that. I like that a lot.
You can buy property with it. If you got a high enough credit limit, buy a property with a credit card. It's not, it can't be taxed. It's a loan. Now, the tax is the interest, but if you operate correctly, you don't have to pay any of it. There are multiple ways. There's more than one way to skin a cat, as like I said. But, we talk about all that in the private.
And a lot of credit card companies, if you call them, they will give you a check, right?
Correct.
That you can, maybe give to the owner of the property, or, to the car dealership. They'll give you a check that you give to them, if they can't run your credit card or something that has, the credit card, usually credit card, they go through banks. So they have the name of the bank, like Chase is a bank, so on and so forth. But, they give checks as well as, they do balance transfer checks. But you can bring that check
gotta be careful
to the credit
with those.
card company.
Got to be careful with those, because sometimes they'll tell you, they won't mention the fact that is considered a cash advance. If you get the wrong person back there doing that, they don't know what they're doing, they'll consider it a cash advance and charge you a high percentage for doing so. Sometimes it's 7.5% extra, 8% extra, when there are ways around it. Just you can actually use the card. Different lenders have different stipulations, but on average, you 12 to 18 months, 0% APR, you do your dance with that. That's a long time to be, as long as you,
And you can, you can get the loan, and then, or you already have a loan. Once you get one of these cards, you can just use the card to make the payoff online, or, send in the coupon with the credit card information on it. Then they'll run it, and then, now, the liabilities on that credit card and that account, but there's no longer a lien on the vehicle, or there's no longer a lien on the property.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? So
correct. It's benefits all the way around the board, Yeah, they can depreciate. Worst case scenario, they deplete your line and your credit score drop a little bit, But what you invest in should be a legitimate vehicle to make more money. You don't want to be playing whack-a-mole, like, I'm going to pay this with this one, try to do something and whack that mole over there, pay this one down. And it's very hectic and chaotic. So it's good to start with restoration and enhancement. And while that's going on, you got, typically a 2 to 3 month window of time to actually have a substantial, viable investment vehicle, something set up, going to business with yourself, something that'll make a return return fast enough for you to make those payments and still make some profit. And everything will be golden.
Just a little, little knowledge drop, man. I appreciate that.
Yeah,
so here's the deal. This is for the audience. This is SOL, High Frequency Radio Network Foundation. I can verify the results. I can verify checks. I've seen the checks from this. I've seen individuals log into their account, and I've seen the available balance for the loan or the line of credit. I've seen the results. You know, and as a matter of fact, and I'm going to put it on air, I have yet to sign up for this because I'm doing something right now. I'm signing up for this tomorrow. So I'm actually going to take advantage of this service. So I believe in it. Otherwise, I wouldn't bring it on the network. I wouldn't bring it on the show. It's been validated. I've seen it with my own eyes. I've seen the results with my own eyes. And I've seen the brother go through the program with no job. No job. No, quote, income. None. Zero. And y'all can figure out what I'm saying. But no job. Didn't go no 9 to 5 at all. And ended up getting funding, got a credit card, $25,000 in a loan, $24,000 might be backwards, $24,000 loan, $25,000, I don't remember. But I've seen it with my own eyes. So, you know, I definitely have a trust. So, you know, I'm going to spend it on the trust. I'm going to sign up with the trust. You know, got a bank account, so on and so forth. I suggest you do that dance. Every dollar that leaves the trust is an expense because that dollar would not leave the trust were it not allowable in the indenture, the contract, or an amendment itself.
That is cold. Let me tell him this right here. Let me tell him what's so cold about it. You know, you didn't hype me up a little bit, so you know, I'm kind of doing my little dance. You know, just like seriously, I took that funding and bought my foundation, bought these, you know, paid for what I need to pay for to get in motion, get all that set up. So now, you know, I have multiple options. You know, that's a charitable donation. That's a charitable deduction for me, you know, with that money, and it's still being used to, you know, to better me, myself, and everybody around me. I'm teaching them the same thing. It's just so cold, man. Why go out here and give your hour for hour, minute to minute, your time to make some money else? You know, I'm not saying quit your day job. I'm just saying start now. The time is now. If you haven't been on this path, you need to get on this path. Nobody's going to give you anything. You got to go and get it yourself and get back what they took from you. This is taken from you. This is yours. You know, this is nothing new under the sun. It may be new information to you, but I want to, you know, and it was to me at one point. It's a journey, but take advantage of it because you are definitely being taken advantage of at this very moment. In bondage with a score to dictate how you live your life and what you have access to and what you don't. And to me, that's bullshit. I mean, you know, excuse my French, but you know, it shouldn't be that way. So I just want to help the people, you know.
That's what we doing. So you want them to email the foundation, or you got a link for them, or what you want to do?
I mean, they can hit. Yeah, I want to know where this traffic is coming from. You know, we got filters and everything set up, knowing that. But I would love them to hit admin at welcometothefoundation.com and visit. You know, if you want to check it out, foundation.upland, UPLAND, up then land, credit.com. Foundation first. Foundation, period. UPLAND, credit.com. And browse around. You'll learn something. You know. I hand-coded this website myself. I know everything that's in it. All the information was written, you know, by me, formatted by me. Everything is designed and coded. That's what I do, you know, development, design, and all that good stuff. But I put this together to present to my people. You know, it's seamless. You're not gonna find this anywhere else. You'll find them individually. Oh, this person does this. Oh, I gotta go. Let me call Bill. Bill's the one handling this. And we take care of you right here in one spot. You know, and I'm working on more content, more videos, more resources to actually inform you, so you don't feel like this is just a strenuous or tedious process. You know, we even have ways for you to do it yourself. I'd rather teach you how to fish. I don't want to just throw you a plate. You know, pay for me a plate because I'm not gonna always be in the kitchen. You know, you need to know how to do this yourself. So we're putting together do-it-yourself packages. And the cold thing is, let's say you buy this do-it-yourself package, and after 20-something days, as long as it's in that first month time period, you come back and say, you know what, I don't want to do this myself. You still have the documentation to do it yourself, but you can apply that to your first month of restoration and have a actually certified, former FICO employee running this. Let it be done professionally for you, because most people don't have the time. They don't have They may be, fearful of certain things, and when you get into federal things and affidavits and certified mail and, reports and this and that and the third, let a professional do it. It's more than one way. But I would like people to be informed and know how to do this on their own and go help other people. It's not about us capitalizing off of you. I'm trying to help everybody who I can get out of bondage. I want to see everybody win. That's step one, moving into the private with it and get out of this fictitious system that they got us trapped in since birth. It's not your fault. It wasn't mine. I had to learn, and I'm still learning. It's a journey, but go ahead and, don't get too comfortable in this system because it's collapsing right before your eyes, And I'm talking to the ones in particular who would prefer to be educated rather than entertained.
I like that.
But how's it go? A formal education will make you a living. Self-education will make you a fortune. Keep digging. You're in the right spot. Use this information to your advantage. And you got a network of real, genuine cats. So one of the most genuine brothers I've ever met in my entire life. You got a network of people who really care to help people out of bondage and help them prosper and promote prosperity and all that, negative hating and drama and none of that. It's none of that over here. And that to me is a blessing by itself, So I encourage everybody to jump on board as quickly as possible. To go at your own pace, but know that time waits for no man. And like he said, something's going down a few months in the future. This credit is going to dry up. Go ahead and take advantage of it now before the process gets harder. Because all they do is rob us of everything we have that's supposed to be already ours, hike up the interest rates, hike up everything, hike up taxes, hike up everything, and charge you more to get access to it. Bail them out again. Did it before, you do it again. And you don't want that to happen when you had an opportunity to get way more right now, if you take advantage right now. It's never going to be a perfect time, like, I'll do that when this happens. I'll do it. Start now. Because it is a tedious process and it's time consuming, but it's worth it. I went through it myself. I got anxious. I'm like, oh snap. 45 days, score done went up another, 100 points, 89 points this time, 50 points that time. It'll make you excited. You got something to look forward to. And then you get that capital you need and everything that you wanted to put in motion. So you got to walk, you got to crawl before you walk. You start building, start putting it together. But don't feel like you stuck in a situation forever.
No. Appreciate you, man. If you can't tell, we on this movement. We call it the MOB/BOB movement. That's the black-owned business. That's your dance. And then the MOB's more owned business. But that's the movement. So, buy black, and I use black in quotation marks. Indigenous, autochthonous, melanated, whatever you want to do, man. We gotta get this back together. We going everywhere. We going to every other nationality to get what we need besides our own. And I want to be a catalyst for change with regards to that. And we on the lookout, high frequency, for brothers and sisters doing positive, forward thinking, true, actual business. Like, we can all have steps, but are you really putting it down for quality over quantity? And are you looking to add and be a benefit to the public and your fellow brother and sister, or are you looking to make a profit? It's all about paper. It's all about dollars with you and how you can benefit. You know what I mean? And, time will tell. People know what you want. But this brother right here, Brother Toran L. is definitely a good brother. I appreciate you, brother. And
appreciate you.
I appreciate not only you, but I appreciate you bringing something tangible to the people. And, Upland Credit is definitely tangible. And, not only as an educational platform with regards to our personal credit, our OUR in quotations, but as far as, offering a service that, most of us are too busy to do on our own. And that's valuable, and that's equity. And, hats off to you for, doing your dance, man. So I can only recognize, brothers making moves, Moors making moves, B.O.B., M.O.B. business,
Yeah, I appreciate that, man.
Keep it melanated. So y'all check them out, Upland Credit. Hit me up, admin at welcometothefoundation.com for more information. You want to look at it, foundation, period, uplandcredit.com. We got restoration, they got enhancement, they got funding. The triune of the personal credit boot camp. You know what I'm saying? So I want to definitely thank you, Brother Toran, for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
You feel like taking any questions?
Sure.
Y'all press 1 on the keypad. Y'all got any questions?
Sure.
Brother Toran L on some personal credit. Yep, I knew it. So they had problems with this switchboard.
Oh, man.
424-222-5250. You can call in, check it out. Y'all go ahead and press 1. If you got any questions for the host, you got any questions for the guest. We're talking about personal credit, restoration, we're talking about enhancement. We're talking about funding. All using it,
Yeah.
all using the personal credit score. 424-222-5250. For some reason, 563-999-3625. We got the first caller, 773-3354. 773-3354. Peace. What's your name? Where you calling from?
My name is Gregory Cantrell. I'm calling from Chicago.
Peace, Brother Gregory. How you doing?
Okay, I just wanted to see if you could hear me.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Loud and clear, brother.
Yeah.
You got a question for the host?
Yes. It doesn't matter what age you are on this process, correct?
It does not matter at all.
Okay, and I got in kind of late. I just got in. I got the information. Is there any kind of phone number I could call? I got the email information.
It's 2 numbers. You got 2 phone numbers that right there on the contact page. You got 888 number. That's general inquiries. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna give them to you. I apologize because I don't remember them all by heart. So much going on. Is this for restoration?
Yes.
Okay. 888.
Okay.
785.
Okay.
0504. That's for restoration support.
Okay. Restoration support.
Yep. And then another phone number just to have for general support, which will route you to the same, it'll just take you everywhere. If you want restoration enhancement funding, you can select 866 815 8406.
8406. Okay, like I said, I came in late, but from what I'm hearing, I've never heard anything like this before. So.
Oh yeah, I know, and I want to inform as many people. People like me get themselves in trouble sometimes. Alerting the public, but it's public information. I want you to know this. I want you to help yourself. And to answer your question, I did hear you ask about the age restriction. At the end of the day, the older the better. It's kind of like insurance, or at least driving, on your car, the older the better, because you would deem yourself more responsible, more seasoned. I haven't seen an 18-year-old, fresh out of high school go and get an $80,000 loan, but someone with a longer line, you got to know, it depends on how many lines of credit do you have. And I'm not trying to get too personal on air, but think about how many lines are active, have already been used, and how many, you may have some credit lines that are 20 years old, and that is huge. Those kind of profiles typically, once it's all said and done with the right age on it, you can see it easily $125,000 on that very profile. And you can also do business funding, but that's another topic. But the personal, man, is, and you can do it more than once, is perfect, And we'll walk you through if you're not really the easiest way is over the internet, going through the process. But if we do consultations, so if you want to do that, that's cool as well. I just want to help you get through the whole process, as seamlessly as possible. And you'll be another testimony, add you to the list, and you got what you want, you got what you need, and I help somebody else out. That's the best feeling to me. I get a high off of that.
Yes, I think I caught a little bit of you saying that you went through the process. And,
I did. Yes, sir.
Took you about a year to get straight?
Oh no. I hadn't been neglecting everything for about a year and some change. Just being in the wrong spots, mail, not answering mail because I wasn't at that location where it was coming through. Nobody was notifying me, the typical. So,
yeah, I know what you mean.
I was being negligent, and things went delinquent, defaulting on things. So I stopped communicating. Another thing I want to tell people, I'm just going to pause right there. Do not talk to anybody over the phone. Make them reduce everything to writing. Spoken word going to fly out the window was in writing stage. It lasts forever. And I learned that from Brother Soap, But that, you got to have everything in writing. But yeah, I did go through the process. I'm going to be specific. I let mine drop as bad. One of them, I forget which score it was. It was as bad as, I want to say it was the Equifax, maybe 496 at its worst. No response, no nothing. Got a new phone, change. They can't get in contact with you. They don't know what's going on. They just like, well, he's not been paying. His debt had been resolved. I got that up to a 762 in a matter of 3 months, between 3 and 4 months, like 3 months and maybe a week or two, a week and a half, and it was at 762.
That's unbelievable.
But that was because, all I had on it was I had been, student loans and unpaid phone bills and things like that. It wasn't like, oh, okay, I got bankruptcies or I got this and that on it, or I've been delinquent on 10 to 15 different accounts, but it doesn't even matter. If you did have 10 to 15 accounts that need to be deleted off of there, matter of fact, I think I did. I had about 8. The student loans alone took up about 6 of them. So, yeah, I had more than that. I had about 10 to 12 maybe. But you want the more of them that are hindering you that you get off of your report, the better it looks. And your age will play a huge factor as well. Location also plays a red factor. Where are you located, bro?
In Chicago, Illinois.
In Chicago. Okay. That's a good area to be in. There's this thing called redlining, where they'll redline you based on your zip code, on how much money you can receive. For instance, if it was 2 of me, we had the same exact credit profile, and I live in Atlanta, and the other me lived in, Bellevue, Washington, Seattle, Washington area. The one up there is by default going to get more money with the same exact profile across the board because of, other factors, income per capita, average, likelihood of somebody defaulting on a loan, paying it back, things of that nature. So it's a lot of things that, different. It's an eclectic, intangible, but you can see exactly what's going on. It's a composition and compiling of data in a certain manner. You want to just make sure that everything is optimal, and that's what we provide. And make sure you have the bad things off, to make sure you have the right credit limit, to make sure you have revolving lines to reduce your debt utilization and raise that ceiling so you look as good on paper as you need to for the underwriters to get you the maximum amount of capital.
I see.
So
if I could give you a scenario, I want to give you a scenario of a person who is retired and had a bankruptcy. He's been out of bankruptcy for about 5 years, and right now his credit score is about 420. What program would he necessarily have to get into first?
Restoration. by far, restoration. And that bankruptcy, you know, they're specific. We do that in the private as well. You know, consultations is getting bankruptcies removed, and I just like dropping knowledge, man. You know, I'm gonna give you the rundown. Basically, you wanna use an address that you have not used before.
Okay.
You know, that bankruptcy follows you by your address. So if you move and you update your driver's license and you update everything, you know, everything's been you've updated. You put them on notice that this has been updated. That bankruptcy is stuck to your name and your address as a combination in their system that they use to compile all this information. So all that always stays on for 10 years is bullshit. I mean, you know, it's crazy.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, but my driver, I'm a retired bus driver, and my driver's license is, in short, I'm too old to drive.
Okay.
Commercially.
I mean, you can still get an identification card, you know, update your permanent residence to somewhere else where you can receive mail that hasn't been tied to you in the past, you know, and that'll disappear. Yeah, and we have documentation to help that disappear as well, you know.
Well,
you just need to make them verify everything.
Yeah, I see what you mean. My wife, she has a business, and I think her credit score is in the 720s, and she was showing me her credit record, and after every account, I noticed she had these two X's behind her name, and she said that's because always overpaid for the last 20 years. She's been overpaying, and in other words, she's been paying them more than the normal balance.
Yeah, you don't want to pay the minimum. You know, you want to take care of it and keep it under 30%. But if you pay more than, you know, that's exactly what's going on. And that looks good to creditors. They want to give you money because you're being responsible and, you know, being proactive. And there's a way as well. I mean, if you can make sure you hit up, you know, admin at welcometothefoundation.com, man, because I definitely want to help you out of that. The bankruptcy, you want to get that off first, you know, work on. We have documentation for that. Like I said, it's, you know, an affidavit. You do your dance with that, but you can use her credit, have her add you as an authorized user or a joint user. Joint user is even stronger, and that'll hike your score up as well because what she has will show up on. It'll help you, but yours won't hinder her. If that makes sense.
Okay. So I'll get in contact with you. Let somebody else get on. I'm sure you got a lot of people want to get on with this. So I got all the information, and you'll be hearing from me soon.
Sounds good, brother. I appreciate you calling in.
Thank you. Peace.
I appreciate you calling in. Thank you very much. Peace. All right, next caller. We got an anonymous caller, man. I got some weird stuff going on. Very interesting. Anonymous. Go on. Peace. What's your name? Where you calling from?
How you doing? This is Dwight. I'm calling from Trenton, New Jersey.
What's going on, Dwight?
Yeah, I was
Peace,
calling. I'm good. Peace. I had a little bit of an issue with my credit at its lowest point. Had dropped down to about 425. I had filed bankruptcy twice, and I'm actually on the verge of doing it a third time. And I wanted to know because my strategy the last, I guess, you know, so many years is when I have a debt and they were calling me trying to collect, I know that the statute over here is if I don't pay them and over 7 years they don't collect, they can't collect on me. So I was employing that strategy. And but, you know, I want to I've been looking at this apartment and not realizing they were going to take a look at my credit score. And so, you know, now I got the wife. She's on my case because we got to get out of this neighborhood because we got this neighbor. He's an Indian fellow who's always yelling at us constantly for no reason. And I don't know, what's the first step in, I guess, trying to raise that up when you've already got 2 bankruptcies?
That's a actual gonna be it's not too hard to get out of, but if you're in a hurry, the best thing to do would be to go grab a CPN and use that. You can lease an apartment with a CPN. You just can't buy a house. You can't do nothing federal with a CPN. There's a credit profile number, credit privacy number they go by. You know, they give them to celebrities. You know, so they don't have to do.
Stupid Packy son of a bitch. See, he's yelling at me already. Whoa. I got to move out of this place.
Look at your fucking dirty ass mouth, motherfucker. Why don't you fuck?
Whoa. Yeah, you might need to get a CPN pronto, buddy. I mean, I'm just saying, you know, you can't be having that, man.
Dwight, you can't. That was interesting. Next caller, 479-4281. Peace. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Oh, hey, my name's Gaius, and I'm calling. I'm calling to ask you guys a question about business advice here. So what I did recently is I went to my bank, and I took out a loan for around $15,000. And my plan is that I'm gonna take that $15,000 and I'm gonna put it into the stock market, and put it into various.
No.
You're saying no?
No.
Because I already did it, and it's been going down a bit, and I was just wondering how I can make it go up to at least make it equal so I can pay it back. Because right now I've lost money.
Of course. And are you new to? You're new to this. How experienced are you as a trader?
This is the first time I've traded on the stock market, and usually I'll do it like I'll have a beer in my hand and I'll sit down at the E-Trade desk and I'll just, I'll try to predict when it...
You serious? You serious?
Yeah, I'm serious. That's why I'm calling. I'm really looking for some help because my wife's going to find out soon.
And we all learning, man. We all learning. But that's attached to your social. And you were putting borrowed money.
That guy, you got disconnected. You got disconnected. Man. Honestly, man, I think we're getting trolled now. I really think we're getting trolled. I'm going to try to bring in this caller.
It might be.
The number is weird, too. There's some weird stuff been going on lately, y'all. So, you got this guy.
Hi, this is Peter from Salt Lake City, Utah.
Hi, Peter from Salt Lake City, Utah. How you doing?
I'm doing fine. I mean, I just had some questions about, I've had some identity theft issues in the past, and it's all on my credit score. I've tried, disputing it with, Experian, but they just refuse to take it off the report. They say that the proof I'm giving them is not good enough.
What'd you go by? How'd you go about trying to verify or have them verify? What method?
Well, I called them up. I ordered the free credit report you can get every year or whatever for free. I took a look. I noticed some things were wrong, so I called the number. They said they'd send out a dispute form in the mail, send your ID for verification, and I sent it out, and I haven't heard back from them since.
Never, ever, 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 ever talk to them on the phone because it's spoken word. That's a verbal contract. It's not substantiated.
What?
Everything through writing.
I told them, but I disputed it. I said I didn't do that.
You have to use snail mail. Use traditional U.S. mail. That's federal. Get it notarized and certified mail. So they have by law, Fair Credit Reporting Act, that by law they have 30 days to respond to you in your affidavit. They can ignore a regular notice, but as stamped by a notary, with a photocopy of your identification card, state issued, however it may be, driver's license and let's say a driver's license and a social security card, get that stamped, get that notarized, and send that off in certified mail. So from the date, keep track of it. Once they get that.
What you're saying is that I called them. I'm in a contract now.
How'd that happen?
I'm confused. You said I'm in a verbal.
So yeah, if you call them, you're not in a contract. I'm saying it's a verbal. It's all verbal. It's not. It can't be substantiated. It's not written down. It's not notarized. It has no weight in a court of law. So they're not obligated to under any acts or any laws or federal statutes or anything to respond because they're under the same laws. Your Fair Credit Reporting Act. You need to just make sure all these are affidavits that they have to respond to by law. They have to respond. They're either saying that it's been verified and that's not accurate, or that they can help you. But you need to do everything in writing and in mail so they can't ignore it. And, you know, it is a very strenuous process because they have up to 30 days to send it back. Some of them may be 12 days. It might be 15, might be 20-something. But by law, they have to respond within a certain amount of time, or it gets wiped off of your, it's a thing called rapid rescore. 7 days off of your credit report. If they do not respond in a certain amount of time, you put certain things in action. And, you know, you can take them to court. You can sue them for damages. Anything that you consider
now,
a damage.
I did have a question about the other person suggesting advice with the stock market. I just want to let him know, if he's still listening, that is the absolutely worst thing you could do. What you want to do right now is actually invest in cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin, Dogecoin, Litecoin. You put all your money into that from that loan, I guarantee you'll make your money back.
Wait, say that. Repeat that. I'm sorry.
There's a thing. It's called Dogecoin. Look it up.
Dogecoin.
It's like
Dogecoin.
Doge.
Oh, Doge.
Dogecoin. Yeah. Look into Dogecoin. Look into Litecoin. Look into cryptocurrencies. He'll make his money back 10 times. Just look at the value of Bitcoin in the last month or so. Look how it's gone up. Yeah, I'm telling you, man, they'll make their money back.
Yeah, putting their, you know, taking borrowed money, and as long as you stay on your debt utilization, and you can handle those. I'm getting into crypto myself. I'm doing some learning, you know, getting into blockchain technology. I understand what you're saying.
What's your favorite part of the blockchain technology? What's your favorite part?
The transferability and the tight grip on things is decentralized. You know.
Do you not like
that we can share
like
the information?
Currencies?
I do not. I don't like any fiat currency.
Fiat currency? How much Bitcoin do you have now? How much, if you don't mind me asking?
I can't disclose that right now.
I got you, man. Tax
We appreciate you calling in, Peter from Salt Lake.
One more question. I got one more question. What's your credit score? What's your credit?
Appreciate it, man. Yo, I'm just gonna let you know, man. We're done. We're done here, fam.
Yeah, that was bogus.
No, check this out. I can't even describe. So the numbers that are calling in here, I know these numbers, man. And like, there's this. My phone is ringing. This is really weird. So we done for the night. We got anonymous people coming in here. We got other numbers calling in here. We're getting trolled, man. So I'm just going to take it as a good thing. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we must be doing our dance over here on High Frequency Radio Network, because if y'all don't know what trolled is, man, like, these cats aren't even real. Like, this isn't even real. They're calling in with jokes.
Man, we pancake trolls, but I mean, we ain't got time for pancaking trolls. Find something better to do, you know.
Yo, man, this is the weirdest show I've ever done on High Frequency Radio Network. These callers, this dude was getting racist. And then, look, I went into because you can screen the call. This dude, there's this other dude on here. This is weird, y'all. Straight up weird. Nah, man, I'm not bringing you back in, man. I already know you a troll, man. It's very interesting. I appreciate y'all, man. Thank you, Toran L of Upland Credit, coming in. Appreciate you.
Likewise, man. I appreciate you having me. You know, it's always a pleasure. It's a pleasure, an honor and a pleasure, man. I appreciate you.
Absolutely. And once again, you know, be on next week, next Wednesday. It's going to be all the way live. I do want to say, we do business in the private. Hit me up, admin at Welcome to the Foundation.
Yeah, man, people really got to chill with all that playing, man, because it's stuff that I want to disclose and help people with, but all it does is limit what I can say on air. I ain't mean to cut you off, bro. I'm sorry. That's just, you know, it's cool. We doing our thing. I'm just saying, like, you got to hit us up in the private, man, because we got to feel y'all out, because y'all being real weird. Not all y'all. Some of y'all, you know who you are, and we can't have that, you know. I'm out here. This is charity work. I'm helping people, you know, and people like that make it hard to, you know, less fulfilling to do. you know, because somebody probably was really calling and needed some help and didn't get answered because you wanted to call in and bullshit and play on the phone like a child. Let's be adults here, you know. If you can't do that, find something better to do, you know.
It's all good, man. Saturday, June 24th, going down. We're going to be in Newark, New Jersey. Admin at welcometothefoundation.com for more information. Your RSVP. It's an RSVP only event. And, we look forward to seeing you there. HighFrequencyRadioNetwork.com. Definitely go there. You know, check out the PDF section. It's 100% legit. You're going to learn a lot. Everything's going to be wonderful. I appreciate, the guests. Definitely want to appreciate the real callers, I guess. Those fake callers, that was weird. You successfully weirded me out. That's all you did. Won't be on here next week, putting it down. Admin at welcometothefoundation.com. RSVP to the event. Hit us up if you have any personal credit questions. You want to get it with us in the private. Let's do business. Let's move forward. Appreciate you. Definitely appreciate you checking out the show, and definitely catch you next week. Peace to the guys.
Doing this thing all the way live. High Frequency Radio.